opportunity to hear here today. Some of the themes that you've already heard sounded by our two legislative leaders are ones that you're going to hear, I think, resonating through all of our remarks. When I charge juries, I charge them at the end of the case, I urge them to decide the case without fear or favor. In other words, to render their verdict without being swayed by public sentiment or popular opinion or matters outside the case. That principle is really the centerpiece of judges' integrity and independence. No one personifies that better, I think, than Judge Gants. He is someone who, in his decisions, upholds the law and the integrity of the process. He treats the Constitution as a living document, and his decisions are very respectful of the duties and responsibilities of the other branches of government. They're also very insightful and balanced and wholly without agenda. And he is what you want every judge to be, fair and impartial, and not afraid to make the tough calls. And he's made many of those tough calls in his years as a Superior Court judge. He's a person of enormous intellectual prowess, and he is, as they say, at the top of the class with respect to his colleagues on the Superior Court. And he grapples with the most difficult and complex and thorny legal issues that we have on the court, yet his decisions reflect a clarity and lucidity of thought that make his reasoning understandable to the average person. But not just that, I mean, his decisions really show an appreciation for the struggles and the challenges of the people whose lives will be impacted by those decisions. He has served in the business litigation section now for over 4 years. His past year as administrative adjuster. And he followed in the footsteps of Judge Gudicial and has maintained the high standards of excellence in that session. And he has contributed to the standing of that session enormously, both in Massachusetts and across the nation. One example of the high regard in which the session is held is that now we see many companies, including in their contracts, a choice of forum clause that say in the event of disputes, the matter will be litigated in the Massachusetts business session. And that is really, I think, very good for business and the economy in Massachusetts. And entities like the Chamber of Commerce have, who rate these sessions across the nation, have given Massachusetts considerably higher ratings since the inception of the session, which was about 8 years ago. But that's really due to the efforts of Judge Gants and all the other judges who have come through the session. At one recent conference on business litigation, Massachusetts was referred to as the gold standard. And I think we can appreciate this more as we move into these challenging fiscal times. It's not just among corporations that the session has gotten such a good reputation. Because individuals, class action plaintiffs are filing their lawsuits there because they know they're going to be treated fairly. Although his most recent work has been in the business litigation session, he has served many years in criminal sessions as well, with the same distinction. He favors neither prosecution nor defense. He holds them both to the same professional standards, and he calls out abuses of power wherever he sees them. His talents come remarkably without arrogance, and attorneys consistently give him extremely high marks for his temperament, his calm, dignified demeanor, and his respectful manner. He is grounded in his work, I think, by his involvement with his family, his children's activities over the years, coaching Little League, basketball, for example, working with his temple on Christmas Day to serve meals to the elderly and the shut-ins. And he also plays in an over 50 soccer league, which by his own reckoning is a very humbling experience. He devotes, as you've already heard, significant time to education. He teaches law school several classes. He participates very frequently in programs to the bar, seminars for judges. He's always in demand because his presentations are not only educational, but they're also entertaining, and he has a wonderful sense of humor, which is often self-deprecating. His courtroom is on the same floor as my office, and many evenings I see him leaving so burdened with papers and homework that he uses a public elevator because he doesn't have a free hand to use the keys and the swipe card necessary to run the judge's elevator. He churns out on average about 100 pages of decisions a month, almost all of which he does himself. It's an incredible feat. I have to confess that his nomination for me is bittersweet. He's going to leave a huge hole in the Superior Court. But I firmly believe that he is going to go down in the annals of the Supreme Judicial Court justices as one of the truly great. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much again. Thank you. Yes.
I have a question. You said that he consistently receives high marks from attorneys. Can you elaborate, of course, a little bit about what the judicial evaluation process is and what you base that, what kind of information you obtain from those evaluations, and how
let me preface by saying that those evaluations are confidential, but I think I can fairly share with you that he does receive those high marks in the evaluations. Attorneys evaluate, employees evaluate, and jurors evaluate, and in all three categories of evaluators, he has done extremely well. And that's one thing that is always commented on, his intellect, his demeanor, and his knowledge of the law and his work ethic. Those are the things that not only get there, but when I go to bar events and whatever lawyers always say, they talk to me in particular about those attributes that made him an outstanding juror. Any other questions? Thank you again. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Councilman, for pointing out Justice Robert Cordy from the SJC has joined us, Judge. Good to see you. And a number of luminaries in the press are here as well, but I want to point out that we're making history, all of us here today, in that Lawyers Weekly is doing a live blog here from the room itself. Live.
We make history every week here.
With that, we'll call Helen Foley-Bousquet, the Assistant Clerk for Civil Business, the Suffolk County Superior Court.
Lieutenant Governor Collins and members of the Governor's Council, it is my sincere pleasure to appear here today before you in unreserved support of the nomination of Judge Ralph Gants as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Judicial Court. As Assistant Clerk in the Business Litigation Section of Suffolk Superior Trial Court, I have been most fortunate to work with and observe Judge Gants and the daily administration of a very busy court dealing with high complex cases and law. In my 26 years as Assistant Clerk in a Superior Court trial session, I have not seen any judge with a greater dedication to a just result, with a more analytical mind or concern for the rights of litigants and their attorneys. His abilities, character, hard work, legal writing ability, and dedication to the law will make him an excellent addition to the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court. I wholeheartedly recommend Judge Gants.